All right, what's up? Eugene here. Hope you're all well. I want to talk about emotions and how they get involved with perfumes and how we perceive emotions, and if we can possibly even scent an emotion, what would that smell like? I think it's a really curious, actually an interesting topic that nobody really seems to talk about. I love this kind of conversation, so we'll get into that. I'm going to share a couple of scents that I've been wearing recently. I love trading scents with you guys, and because it's been really cold in Toronto today, really dreary gray clouds, I haven't seen the sun for a split second. It's been chilly and windy, and we lost power in some parts of this city. Kind of depressing, if I'm honest. I wanted something really comforting, and I pulled out, this is Tears of Iris from Gucci's Alchemist collection, which I've been really crazy about recently. Been wearing a lot of these, and this is very comforting. This is all about iris. It's built around iris and a lot of its nuances. So very powdery, somewhat clean. Not at all soapy. It's slightly resinous, woody, but overall it feels like a very warm, comforting, fluffy pillow. And this is something I'd really like to curl up to on the sofa with one of my favorite blankets, just wasting time however I feel fit. Slightly spicy, but it's got this really nice white, creamy pastel color to it. It's got those pastel-y, waxy, cosmetic-y accord going, which is nice. I love that, but I really like this. It's just really relaxing, soothing, comforting, warm, inviting. It's not, it's not loud, it's not tenacious, but it lasts all day and it keeps coming back, and it keeps reminding me that it's here, it's not going anywhere. And we're gonna have a little bit of fun together. But I've also been wearing Oud Ispahan. This is Dior's Rose Oud, very spicy, somewhat animalic, barnyardy, dirty, pissy, however you want to describe it. There's a lot of talk that this has been reformulated, and this is an early bottle, vintage or original release, whatever you want to call it. And this is a bottle from earlier this year, and I can't say that I notice right now a whole lot of difference, except for in the opening. This seems a little bit drier opposed to like this wet rose. This is a little bit drier, but I feel like within time and getting a little bit air in this bottle, it's going to change. It's going to open up, and it'll smell exactly like the original bottle. But there's all this kind of outrage about reformulations and how everybody's watering their perfumes down and trying to save money. And people are going mad talking about reformulations, where really I think they have no clue what they're talking about, if I'm honest. It's just a word people like to throw around, that everything's been reformulated, which really needs to stop. They dry down to the exact same perfume. Like I've always known Oud Ispahan, so I'm not sure where these things actually start, but mad people. So let's get into this. I want to read this comment, excellent comment I got from a viewer. This is from a video I posted a year ago called Emotional Affair. And it wasn't a review, it was just kind of me showing off my new Diaghilev and Mitsouko bottle. And the commenter says, "Interesting video. I haven't seen every video you've made, and while it's evident how passionate, bordering on consumed you are with fragrances, you've never expressed how individual perfumes make you feel." And that's funny, because I thought, I've always talked about how perfumes evoke emotions in us and how they make me feel, but I don't know, maybe you just missed it. I'm not sure. The reviewer industry makes you angry. Yes, they did at one time when I actually cared, and now I try to look past it and focus on myself and, not worry about what everybody else is doing, and, let me have my peace, and I'm going to give everyone their peace too. But I can't worry about that kind of stuff. People are always going to be doing different things, and that's great. Everybody has their role. They know their role, and whatever they're comfortable with, I'm okay with. I don't care anymore. Dior makes you angry. etc. Yes, Dior did make me very angry. Francois Demouchet made me very angry. The Dior Privés made me very upset and angry, especially, when they had changed over from Dior Privé to Maison Christian Dior. And that's because kind of like their aesthetics has changed. They've gone from big, bold, tenacious, outrageous, complex to perfumes to these very softer, simpler, maybe not easier to wear, but just a completely different style. And I was upset because I was really attached to what they were doing, and then I had an attachment to a certain, to a fixed outcome of what these new perfumes would be, and when they didn't match that attachment, which, or that expectation, I got upset, just like anyone else does when they don't get what they want, right? But within time, I've gotten to learn a lot of these new Dior Privés, and I can say I really like them. I'm enjoying them. They're not Ombre Nuit, they're not Leather Oud or Mitsouko or Eau Noire. They're much softer. They're subtler. They've incorporated a lot more florals to them, but there's nothing wrong with that. If we always stay the same and we're not progressing, and where does that leave us? Who are we? We're really the same purpose, and what purpose do we serve, really? If I'm the same person 10 years from now that I am today, I haven't grown at all. So this is really a new look for them, and it's a way for them to expand. It's almost like expanding your portfolio, your finance portfolio. You want kind of assets everywhere. And if they're just doing the same thing over and over again, what's the point, really? But they do have, I like a lot of these, like New Look 47's a beautiful floral perfume. It kind of leans, it's a white floral, but it's got, tons of woods in it. It leans masculine to me, like traditionally speaking. I like that. Dior Amour, really nice. Iris, again, iris and woods, and it's got that pastel-y makeup accord. Beautiful perfume. Absolutely love it. As is Belle de Jour. So they're much softer. They are what you would consider more feminine-like, but I'm okay with that. I don't struggle to wear those types of genres. They're not bold. They're not outrageous. Lucky, as stupid as the name is, I can get past it because the scent itself is magnificent. And this is a Lily of the Valley themed perfume, and it's one of the nicer Lily of the Valleys on the market. You're going to struggle to find something much nicer than this. A beautiful green, somewhat pissy muguet, dry, slightly leathery, but it's absolutely gorgeous. If you're not looking for big, bold, and tenacious, you just want something really beautiful, this is your muguet. Muguet porcelain might be a little bit more complex and challenging. This is a little bit more wearable, and if that's what you want something to wear with interest. This is absolutely stunning. I can get past the stupid names as long as the perfumes are wearable. Lucky. Lucky's not even the dumbest one. There are Happy Hour, I think, has got to be the most outrageous. Holy Peony, I can't get past that either. But the scents are okay. Dior makes you angry, but what does Mitsouko feel like to you? Beautiful bottle, legendary status, and do you look forward to wearing it? What moods make you reach for it? Does it ever make you feel things that surprise you, or does it conjure the same response every time? And is that one of the qualities you like in your favorites? Okay, so how does Mitsouko make me feel? I had actually pulled out Lure Blue looking for Mitsouko, but I'm going to spray instead because they go on to ask about Diaghilev, and they're very similar. And this might be a cardinal sin, but I think if you're comparing both Diaghilev Parfum and Mitsouko Pure Parfum, they're very close. My goodness, it is so strikingly beautiful. This is one of the most beautiful things I've ever smelled, and this is something I often wear for myself. I'll wear it to bed. I'll wear it, in the same instance that I wear Tears of Iris when I want to enjoy it, because this definitely strikes a mood for me. It's a mood of sadness, of despair, of loneliness, of staring out the window on a rainy day, of searching for comfort, soothing, relaxing, wanting to be alone, reminiscing. And the thing is, if you read the ad blurb on Mitsouko when Guerlain had launched it, it was, its inspiration was a love story, but kind of a messy one. They had spoken, Mitsouko was a woman who had two lovers. She was married to a Japanese naval officer who was going to war, and her lover was a British, some kind of officer as well, and she was sitting there waiting for them to return from war to see which one would come back to her. When it was during the Japanese-Russian War. And I thought, this is really interesting, because this isn't a story based on love. This is a story based on, how would I describe this? To be in love with two people is, there's so much more deceit and manipulation and lies and cheating there. There's no love. You can't be in love with two people. To be in love with two people is virtually impossible. It means you don't love either of them nor yourself. When somebody is in love with themselves, they don't put themselves in this sort of situation. You don't go and get into a new relationship without ending the previous one, and from healing from that, from getting rid of any baggage that you have, mental, physical baggage. It takes time to heal from a relationship. And for them, for Guerlain to base a perfume based on love on this sort of story is really, it's disappointing for me to hear this or to see this, because that's not what love is. It's not at all what love is. When somebody loves themselves, before getting into a new relationship, they figure out the one that they're in. And if it's not for them, they terminate it. They end it. They take some time. They fix themselves. You definitely don't go into a new relationship or jump into another relationship while you're already in one. That's not a relationship. That is dependency. That is addiction in another person. It's definitely not what Guerlain would consider love. But smelling either Mitsouko or Diaghilev, this to me smells like an emotion. And it's taken me forever to actually figure this out. When I smell Diaghilev or Mitsouko, whichever one you want to discuss, it's very dark and it's very mysterious. And what is an emotion exactly? Well, an emotion, it doesn't come from your mind. Emotion comes from your gut. It comes from the pit of your gut, and it's a feeling, and it's a fuzzy feeling, and it's dark, and it's slightly sticky, dry, and it's not always a feel-good emotion. It can be moody. It can hurt. We more associate with painful emotions than positive ones. And this to me smells like, it smells very dark and dank and slightly dirty, and it brings about those lonely emotions. And I think, maybe Guerlain did get the story right, the love story, because within that love story, waiting for two lovers to come home from war. You're like, you have so many expectations, you don't know what you're going to expect, and you're sitting here, your mind is going through a million different things. You just don't know what to expect, and that in and of itself can bring up tons of emotions. It's just such a dark perfume. I get the leather, and I get the earthiness, the almost like the forest vibe, burning leaves, the dankness. It's not quite sour, a little bit of fruity peach, but what dominates this is that leatheriness, that it's a balmy leather. It's not brand new car interior. But when you wear this, you can definitely feel those moods. You can feel that, at least I can, it's just totally captivating. And I've never been involved in a love triangle like that, but I can definitely see, that's what I picture. That's what I feel when I wear Mitsouko or Diaghilev, is I'm smelling the sensations of a lonely emotion. A beautiful perfume. To me, it's one of the most beautiful things ever created. Especially if it was inspired by some sort of love, even though they got the love part wrong. I think that was really the end of the question. Does its significance, historical composition, mean more than its emotional resonance? Well, yeah, historical for me, we're all attached again to historical perfumes, and what's the reason for that? I don't know. We as people, does time really exist? I don't know. We can debate this forever, but created 100 years ago. We can't go back 100 years. We only have what we have right now, right here. We can't even go forward. And all that really tells us is it's time tested. It's survived 100 years, and it's still around, and it's still relevant. So is historical significance important? Yeah, it is. But if the perfume doesn't resonate for me, regardless of how old it is, it doesn't matter. I have to click with the perfume on an emotional level to love it. There's perfumes from back then that I think smell great, but just because they're old doesn't mean that I love them. So to me, it's more of an emotional match. I have to match up emotionally rather than what the bottle looks like, what the packaging looks like, or how old the perfume is. But there you go. Just wanted to talk about that, emotional perfumes, and talk about love a little bit. Always interesting to pair perfume and love, the meaning of life together. And yeah, let me know your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. How would you scent the emotion? What does emotion smell like to you? That deep sinking feeling in the pit of your gut. I know we can never go there, but it's a feeling nonetheless. And since we all talk about emotions and how we feel them when we wear perfumes, let's scent emotion. Thank you for watching. Drop a comment down below, and we'll see you soon. Bye.